We have 2 weeks left of our end of the year digital storytelling project. This week we're going to focus on collecting video and audio content, revising scripts, and editing the final video. So the first step for your students is going to be revisiting their scripts and outlines and making any necessary revisions based on the content they have. Hopefully they were doing this along the way as interviews went differently than they planned, or maybe as they found some really great archived content that they didn't think they would have access to ahead of time, but there are probably some additional tweaks that they're still going to want to make. They might want to rearrange or adjust some of the details in the plan, and they may even have a totally different idea for some parts of how they want the story to come together based on the content that they got. One of the things we have for you in the episode resources this week is this timeline that gives students a clear visual for how they can piece together a video that includes multiple shorter segments, different speakers, and B-roll with voiceover. This was designed for documentary story production as part of our Iconic Michigan project, but I think it's a really great visual for a lot of different styles of content because it helps students see the length of clips they're looking for and the cyclical nature of using an interview, and then adding in some B-roll, and then another interview with someone else and some more B-roll and voiceover and so on, so that they can build a cohesive and engaging narrative. Once students have their content organized and their scripts refined, then they can start actually cutting and editing the footage to pull it together into a timeline that will eventually become their final video. This is usually the stage when educators we work with get a little nervous because editing does require some level of technical capacity and an aptitude for getting creative while using editing technologies. But whenever I talk to educators who are new to this work, I give them 2 main pieces of advice. First, it's likely that a number of your students are already editing content. They know what apps they like, and they're super willing to learn and play with editing video with different apps and technologies. And the end of the year is such a great time to just let them play and learn. My second piece of advice is that there are also super easy to use editing apps and programs that are made for classroom use, so you don't have to learn how to use Adobe Premiere overnight. Try leveraging your existing Canva for Education account and have students edit their videos just like they're editing documents, infographics, flyers, slides, or any of the other content you've used Canva for this year. Adobe Express is my personal favorite tool. Their educator platform has templates, tutorials, educational guides, and a super easy to use video editing tool. Like many other creative projects, learning how to edit is a hands-on, trial and error type of experience, so don't get hung up on what you do or don't know, and just give your students space to jump in and play this